In 2011, there were about 3.8% Americans who identified themselves as that of the lesbian, gay, bi, and transgender community. Um, Today, we as Americans are so used to labeling each other in everything that we come in contact with that when something out of the ordinary comes along, it makes us uncomfortable because we don't exactly know how to place it or label it. In this speech, I'm going to be addressing the three factors that I think contribute to gender conformity in America today. That is politics, media, and family. Politics plays a big role in affecting gender conformity. Right now, we are at a battle with whether or not same-sex marriage should be allowed as an ordinary thing in our society. We have politicians and um, big names who are trying to prevent same-sex marriages from taking place. They are trying to prevent those who feel the need to love that of the same sex to love the same sex and live the way that a heterosexual couple would live. You know, they are saying that it's not that of the norm to marry someone who is that of the same sex. So they like to take it into their hands to pass laws where, you can't marry that of the same sex in this state. Um, they are making major controversy. We have been, as far as I know, looking at the news, we've been back and forth with whether or not the Supreme Court, can make this law as to whether or not same-sex couples should be allowed to marry. Then you have these politicians who are Republicans and Democrats who voice their opinions on whether or not same-sex couples should be allowed to marry. But instead of them incorporating same-sex couples in the major controversy in the discussion, we are letting these major big heads make the decisions for us, which I think is unfair because they're not the ones who are going to live the same sex lives. They are just those who are looking in from the outside, and placing their opinions and what they think is good and not good for that of those living in the LGBT community. Um, Family plays a major role as well. Growing up, we are giving certain values and beliefs because as a child you come into this world and you don't know anything. You don't come out of your mother's womb as, okay, these are the values and beliefs that I have as a child. You are taught those as a child. So as you grow up, your family places a big toll on the things that they think are right and wrong and the decisions that you make in life. um so they decide, as far as you from being a little kid to becoming an adolescent, what you do in life and what you pursue in life. But as you get older, things start to change and you start to make those decisions on your own. But parents and family and friends are always going to have something to say in your life. So gender conformity for them plays a huge role. Um, Media also plays a huge role. Um, News outlets, they they always try to cover things and blow it up and make it what it's not supposed to be. They always like to take things and place their opinions on it and put their facts inside of it, and they don't know the whole true story. Gender conformity to them is something to talk about. It gives people something to discuss, and it gives people something to place their opinions on and continue to boost up, so that, relating back to politics, so that politics have a reason not to give same-sex couples in the LGBT community something to live for. you know um it places a lot of bullying, like social media networking. You have vlogs who are 100% dedicated to making the lives of the LGBT community miserable. You know, they sit there all day and they voice their opinions about what is the norm and what should be and what should not be, and why these people shouldn't be able to do this and why they shouldn't be able to do that, and why they are not going by what is needed to go by. And then you have media, as in the movie industry, the entertainment industry, that places certain roles and labels certain people what they think should be labeled. So for example, you have, you know, the in movies you have a man who is supposed to be strong built and the protector, and then you have the woman who is supposed to be the underdog of the man. She's supposed to be the housewife, or she's supposed to be the man's backbone. Yet in today's society, we see the roles changing. We see the roles of a woman taking on both man and female, and then for some people, it's in media, it's not portrayed that way. So because in media, we're so in society, we're so used to letting other things tell us what we are supposed to live like and what life should look like. It's for those who don't, for those who are so used to the norm, it's not it's not comfortable, like I said, when that who decides not to label themselves, or for those who decide to take on that role that's not themselves. If a female chooses to portray a man in his manly ways, then for those of the norm, it's not comfortable. They're not comfortable, and vice versa. If a man chooses to play the role of a female, it's not comfortable. I did have statistics. I don't know if I can pull them up on my phone. So I'm not gonna try that, but I can show you what I wrote down. Have no idea if you guys are gonna see it, but I'm just gonna give you a quick glimpse, and then I'm gonna read off of it. You may not be able to see it, but can you, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm just gonna read it off to you guys. In 2012, Americans who identified themselves as that of the LGBT community. And imagine it three years later, we're now in 2015, and that was 2012. What the percentage has gone up to. As of July 2014, same-sex marriage is legal in 19 states plus the District of Columbia. Mind you, there are 50 states in the US, and only 19 states plus the District of Columbia have legalized that of same-sex marriage. Many youth who are of that in the LGBT community say the biggest problem they face is coming out to their family, because they don't feel welcome, or they don't feel that they're going to have the same support they had when their parents didn't know versus when their parents know. Marriage, or ban those from who love the same sex from loving the same sex, but you have 61% of Republicans who support and 71% of Democrats who do, and then you have politicians who themselves are of that, you know, who love the same sex. Yet we have all these politicians who don't want to allow same-sex marriage to happen in the U.S. Yet I believe England is more open to same-sex than the U.S. is. Um, there are over 50 blogs, 11 internet forums, 29 related web series, and over 2 online social networking sites that are all dedicated to the LGBT community. So, in relaying these statistics and opening your mind about gender conformity, I'm sorry, gender non-conformity in our society. I hope by telling you what I had told you that you in some way took some of that and, you know, at least opened up a little bit more if you have not been open to the LGBT community, not because, you know, it's becoming more acceptable in our society, but because these people are regular people. And, you know, as society, we should be more open to new things instead of locking ourselves in the same box we have been in and not accepting these new things that are coming in society, you know, because these like I said, these are regular people who want to live the same lives that we do, yet we can't even allow them to love the same people as themselves. So that's it.
Okay, guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to go